empowering the blind to be excellent, do more, and live with greater success. This show is for you and about you. Welcome to the Delivering Access podcast.
Well, thank you all for joining us again for what will prove to be another exciting episode of the Delivering Access podcast. Today, I am simply thrilled to welcome our guest, Miss Amanda Wilson. Amanda, are you prepared to empower?
Yes.
Great. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into the interview. Amanda, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you became blind, and some of the tools that you've used along your journey.
Okay. Like you said, my name is Amanda Wilson, and I grew up in Georgia. I have RP, or retinitis pigmentosa. It was hard to diagnose, but when they finally did, they were just like, oh, okay, you're colorblind, you have tunnel vision, you have night blindness. And so I went to public school all of my life. I had a lot of great help, tutors and vision teachers that, would travel to my area, to my home, and large print books and books on tape and, all the stuff they had back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I went to college. I told them I wanted to be a teacher, and my rehab counselor was just very supportive. So I got a lot of computer skills. Sorry, went to a lot of computer schools to learn a lot of computer skills.
Okay.
And I went to college. I went to Reinhardt and to what is now the University of West Georgia. It had a lot of name changes.
Great.
And learned JAWS, which really helps.
Okay.
For the screen reader. And then I taught in actually 3 school systems here in Georgia with students with mainly intellectual disabilities,
Okay.
but also vision and behavioral and learning. And they all graduated or moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've mentored with visual impairment students and with, sighted students in Atlanta and here in Cartersville or White. And I'm very involved in Georgia Council of the Blind and the Georgia Statewide Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to help people. So.
Okay, cool. Well, you mentioned a couple of things that I like to touch on. One was you did some mentorship, and then also your involvement with the Georgia Council and the Georgia Statewide Coalition on the blindness. What is your passion and desires for the blindness community?
I just think that people with visual impairments are just normal people, and even though they're blind, they can do anything with technology and education, and so that's just how I feel.
Okay, so more so just being there to let the blind individual know that anything you want to accomplish, you can.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I see you using your technology, which would be the next question. But I was basically saying you just have a desire to give people that empowerment of knowing that they can do whatever they want. Would that be correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what technology are you using to accomplish those goals right now?
JAWS as a screen reader and internet and email. That's about all, I guess. Skype, of course, and.
Okay. And what about like an iPhone or?
No, I haven't gotten there yet. I have a phone that talks.
Okay.
But I have all kinds of gadgets. Read money and color and barcode scanner and my computer. But I'm probably gonna do iPhone, next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like the next logical step in the technology evolution.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. So go a little bit deeper into your advocacy. What are some of the specific things that you're doing right now to invoke change for the future of blind individuals?
Well, only thing I can really think of is just, being involved with GCB, and our webpage is really awesome. And the technology committee has really, taken the webpage, I guess, into, 2014 is, I'd like to say. And it's got a lot of resources, and it's got a lot of, what's happening now. And we have, couple, well, not, I guess a couple, maybe, or not a lot, but, people that log on and, say, well, hey, I can, join this group, and they can, help me, things I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, it serves as a up-to-date resource for individuals that are blind or visually impaired.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've pretty much reached my favorite part of the interview. Quite quickly, I might add, due to your very rapid responses, but I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you come back to us with some amazing and brief responses. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
Okay. So who was your mentor growing up, and what advice that they gave you that you most remember?
Well, my mentor, she was Sally Warren. She was like a tutor, because like I said, I was in rural Georgia, and we had itinerant vision teachers. But she just always said, do the best you can, and be positive, and you can do anything you want to, as I always say, as long as you have education and technology and a way to get there.
So that seems to be your theme, being able to do anything that you want to. So that's very powerful. Sorry for cutting you off, but what were you gonna say?
Oh, that was all.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as we know, life is a roller coaster, and sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. Share with us a story, either where you were up or down, and let us know how your blindness affected that.
Well, after I graduated from college, I took about a year to look for a job, because I wanted to be a teacher. And they said, well, you're blind. How can you teach? And I said, well, I think that's a strength. I can use my disabilities to empower, other people. And I did finally get a job. And this one individual, she was in high school, and she was blind as well. And when I would come to her school, she would help me.
Wow.
Yeah. And when if anybody else, the sighted teachers, it seemed like she acted different. They said she acted different with me than she did with them. And I said, well, maybe that's because she can just relate to me, and we can bond, and that can help her to maybe be more independent. And and she is now. She lives by herself, and she has a driver, and she goes to yoga and goes to the grocery store, and things like that.
And that must make you feel very proud to have been able to speak into that person's life, and help them with their independence, and that, again, that theme of you can do whatever it is your heart desires. So
Right.
Cool. Other innovations in technology, both mainstream and assistive, what's exciting you the most?
Well, I think the iPhone, I've seen it work, and I think it's awesome, and I, would love to get one, probably in January, hope, maybe, or, but I just think they're awesome, and I think that's going to, help a lot of people, because even individuals that may not be as, intelligent as others, are using it, because it is so adaptive, and,
Yeah. Yeah. And just to underscore a lot of what we've been talking about, if you look at the technology proliferation, as far as iOS is concerned, and it was one guy's dream to create a device that is accessible to all, and making it accessible allowed the birth of different apps and different ways of doing things through things like the NFB Newsline app and the Bard app. If it had not been for that one person's dream and people being able to capture that dream and follow him, we would never have this inclusive accessibility platform to be able to build on and grow with. So you're exactly right. And, you know, he did believe that a person can do whatever it is they want to do. So cool. What's one thing that you would tell a new blind person that they could do this week to help them along their journey?
I think, you know, join a support group, you know, to just, you know, make them feel more included, and, you know, or go online, you know, to, you know, search the internet, and then, you know, if they can have an iPhone, you know, go to there's, you know, classes online and on the phone, and, you know, even at our support group sometimes. So,
Okay.
you know, just get involved and go and do what you can. And if you can't, then, you know, ask for help. You know, that's really hard to I
ask
need
for
help.
help.
Yeah, I need help. I mean, you know, because, you know, it's very frustrating to be blind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the worst part of it, is that you drop something and you can't find it, and you have to ask for help. And so,
Yeah. Asking for help is very big, and it should be a great asset for anyone, because my thing, not only asking for help, but being able to give help is very, very important. And a philosophy that I have is help enough people get what they want, and ultimately you'll always have what you want. So asking and giving help, being a giver and a taker, is a healthy way of living life. Would you agree?
yes, I agree.
Okay. Well, Amanda, this has definitely been a very exciting interview, to say the least. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. But give the listeners a way to reach you, one other parting piece of advice, and then we'll say goodbye.
Okay. Well, I'm Amanda Wilson, and I'm on Skype at amanda.wilson45, and my email is moon, MOON, rocks, ROCKS, @bellsouth.net.
Okay. Now, where did we get moon rocks from, Amanda?
Well, I was born landed on the moon year, actually, 1969.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother said when they would take my pictures, my eyes would get real big, I guess because the flash and my retinas.
Okay.
And so she called me Moony-Eyed Kid, and then it went to Moony, and then it went to Moon Rocks.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Interesting story. So I was born on the Ides of March, but I don't think I derived the nickname from that particular birth year. But give us one parting piece of advice.
well, I'm just, I like to be as independent as possible. And like I said, blind people can do, you know, anything they want to except, you know, drive. But if they have technology and education and, you know, someone to support them, I think they can be as independent as possible.
Yeah, well, even drive. I know Neil Lewis and Mark Riccobono and the gentleman who is doing the whole motorcycle thing in Salt Lake City. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
We can even drive. So amazing. Well, what I'm going to do is thank our podcast producer and sound engineer, Aaron Linson, and our honored and esteemed guest from Georgia, Amanda Wilson. And
thank you.
Say goodbye.
Well, goodbye.
In my traditional closing, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you are right. Think pennies, get pennies. Think dollars, get dollars. See you on the other side.
This has been a Yucca Music Group production. Website 81x.com/Yucca/X. The Yucca Music Group can be reached at 678-608-8969. All rights reserved.